Good morning, Co-Chair Senator Giarratana, Representative Johnson, ranking members Senator Welch, and Representative Srinivasan, and members of the Public Health Committee. Noise-induced hearing loss can be caused by continuous exposure to loud. I'm talking in regards to HB 5988, HB 5991, and HB 6214. Noise-induced hearing loss can be caused by continuous exposure to loud sounds over an extended period of time. Such exposure can be associated with MP3 players such as an iPod and continuous loud music in the home or car. Noise-induced hearing loss is 100% preventable. First and foremost, by understanding the hazards of noise and practicing good hearing health and protect your hearing. Based upon survey data from the Center for Disease Control, researchers suggest that 12.5% of the school-aged children from ages 6 to 19 are demonstrating hearing losses consistent with noise exposure. Current state hearing screening guidelines were not developed to detect the early onset of noise-induced hearing loss that may come with repeated exposure to loud noises and music over time. Therefore, staff, parents, and students are given a false sense of security that our children's hearing is acceptable if they pass the screenings. Two of these proposals, HB 5988 and HB 5991, share the fundamental purpose of improving the identification of noise-induced hearing loss in middle school and high school students, and the third one, HB 6214, would provide information to parents of children enrolled in preschool programs about the prevention of noise-induced hearing loss. I have been collaborating with Dr. Wendy Chase, Dr. Jennifer Tufts, and Dr. Christine Hare of the Yukon Audiology Clinic team. We are looking forward to working with the members of this committee in drafting language and moving the legislative process forward. We are more than willing to discuss this in more detail as it concerns early hearing loss and prevention education. At this moment, I will be happy to answer any questions that the committee members may have.
Thank you, Representative. Are there any questions? Representative Johnson has something.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for your testimony today. I just wondered if there was a particular incident that might have precipitated this concern over hearing, and whether or not anything in your background would suggest that something must be done about noise.
Yes. I was a preschool teacher for almost 20 years with the Head Start program, and then I went into social services and working with parents and children and families. I have noticed that at schools, at these preschools, when you see parents dropping off their children, most of these parents are young parents, and I would believe that they lack parental skills, but they come in with their noise blasting in their cars. It's really loud. About 4 weeks ago, I noticed a parent driving into one of the schools, and she had 2 infants in the back seat, plus her 3-year-old that she was dropping off for daycare. And the noise was so loud where the windows in my office vibrated. That's how bad it was. So when I approached the parent basically told me to mind my own business. So I think that many of these young parents, and many parents are just not aware what this can do to their child's hearing down the road. It might not be something that they will see right away, but maybe during middle school or later in elementary school, this can affect their hearing.
And just as a follow-up, in terms of a remedy, there might be remedies on all different levels, perhaps a notice on the equipment, any other types of remedies that you would recommend in addition to what you've testified to?
Are you talking about the iPods or?
Yeah, the iPods perhaps should have a warning on them, and maybe the equipment. I mean, the equipment for use in smaller areas probably there should be some kind of notification on the equipment.
I think maybe
what type of area? Because it seems like some of the equipment that I see, it's utilized in cars, and maybe it should be in a large music hall.
Right. I think some type of notification on the equipment is good. The bottom line is that maybe parents should not be buying iPods for kids under a certain age. Maybe that's something that they should consider. But giving them some type of notification would be something to start with.
Thank you. Representative Ziobrin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Do we do any sort of instruction with our Birth to 3 program regarding noise? Is there any sort of proactive measures that we're taking so that those young parents have better knowledge with handouts through the programs we already have existing?
I'm not too sure. I would believe we do, but I don't think it's enough information out there. One of these bills would call for just simple information to parents, just giving them a brochure and explaining to them the importance of this noise-induced hearing loss and how to prevent it. So I would imagine that would be also something that Birth to 3 programs and all preschool programs in the state of Connecticut can share. And I reached out to OFA in regards to what the cost would be for these brochures, and it's very minimal, and it would be distributed out to these programs where they would then distribute them to the parents. So it's not something that's going to be mailed out.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? If not, Representative Sanchez, I want to say thank you so much for bringing this before our committee. It certainly, seems to be, at least to me, very common sense. And I also appreciate very much all the research that you are doing and taking a proactive stance here on the issue. We certainly thank you for that. If there are no further questions.
And I just wanted to state that the doctors could not make it today, but they will be submitting written testimony.
Oh, good. Thank you again.
Thank you.